this thing works. If I can ever find my cursor again, there it is. I type a name in here. Can't quite see. Oh, yeah. Nathra. Right? There it is. Now if I type another one, who's next to you? Who's behind Jeremy? Can you spell it for me? Very good. It just replaces the heading. That's not terribly useful. It's kind of silly to change the heading in the first place. And it's kind of a bummer that every time I type a new name, it blows away what's already there. This is supposed to be a user directory, right? That's right. So let's do a little better. Instead of changing the H1, let's add a new div down here. So under the form, but above our script, I'm going to add a new div, and I'm going to give it an ID of users. Now using emit, the thing that takes the abbreviations and expands them into elements, you can use any selector syntax actually. So I could say hash users and expand, and it turns into a div with an ID of users. I want a cart. Okay. I'm just going to leave it blank, because I just want to stick the name in there. How can we do that? Well, instead of the heading, let's just call it users. And it's not an H1, it is hash users. And we'll say users.textContent equals username. So it didn't have to change much, right? And what happens? Shoo. There it is. Now it's down there. Now we still have the problem that it blows it away every time, right? How can we fix that? What could we change to make it append the name to the end instead of replacing the entire thing? Yeah. Can we make a list? Is that what you said? We can, and that's what we're going to do ultimately. But that's a little too hard for us right now. I don't think we can handle the pressure. What else could we do? Still using text content. Just make it append it to the end instead of, yeah, Ryan. Plus equals. Just concatenate, right? So text content plus equals username instead of equals username. Instead of replacing the contents, it'll stick it on the end. So refresh the page. Amari. Backspace. Man, I do not like that it doesn't clear that out. Noon. Now we got Amari Noon. Cool. Or we've got Immerin Gun. I can't really tell. So they're a little too smashed together. We could stick a space in between, right? We could do something like plus equals string with one space in it plus username. That would at least put a little something in there. So we can get Colin with a space between. Colin Tyler. It's kind of like the duck goose of extern boot camp. So that's something. We're at least appending it instead of replacing the entire contents. It is, however, super, super annoying that I have to backspace every time. Yeah. Colin 9000. Oh, good. That's a good error. That's what everyone's going to see. Let's see what you got. Unexpected identifier. Okay. Here's basically what happened. Refresh. Try it out. Unexpected identifier on line 8. Super vague error message, but very common. It almost always means you forgot some piece of punctuation. It could be a missing comma, a missing parenthesis. In this case, a missing plus. So you're saying plus equals this string, and then you just have the other string right next to it without a plus sign in between. That's the error you're going to get. So you're missing a plus sign in this case. Very common. Happens all the time. So it's a good thing to run into in a safe environment like the classroom, where we can demonstrate the easy fix. Now it's working. But I still have to backspace over this thing like some kind of dang animal. I don't like it. I'll make a quick commit since we did make a thing work. So right now, if I do a git status, I have changes to these two files. These changes are in, it still doesn't want to do that. Where are they? They're in my working copy. And I want to move them to the staging area or the index. So I need to git add. I'll just do a git add dot to add all the changes at once. And then I want to move them from the staging area to my actual repo permanently, give them a label. Git commit -m. And add multiple usernames. Push. But by golly, I am too important to have to backspace over things. I am entitled. Let's fix it. What could we do? What could we do to make it clear out every time? Yeah, call in 8000. So we know how to get the input box value, right? We can also set it. So at the very end of this, just say f.username.value equals empty string. How about that? Matt, hit enter. Oh, it goes away. Oh man, this is so much more pleasant now. Look at that. Oh, life is good. Yeah. I like it. Such a pleasant user experience. So right now, these changes are in our working copy or working directory. We want to add them to the staging area using git add. Now they are in our staging area, and we want to actually commit them permanently. Git commit. Clear the input after submit, after each submit, we'll say. Excellent. And now I'm pushing them from my local copy, everything to the left of the dotted line, to my remote copy. And you can have more than one remote. If you were hosting on Heroku or something, you could have a second remote called Heroku, and you would just push to that when you wanted to deploy. Questions? Yeah.
Is there a way to set it up such that you don't have to type git add dot every single time you want to commit?
There are some GUIs that will add and commit all in one step. Yeah, there's not a command line command for that, I don't think. There might be. I don't know what it is. But a lot of GUIs will actually do that for you.
There's a flag like git commit -am.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Dash AM. Yeah, dash A will add it at the same time. That's right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Emma. Yep. In fact, I'll copy it to Slack. Also, keep in mind, of course, I am pushing frequently. So if you just keep my GitHub open, it'll always be there too. So if I do move on and you're not quite caught up yet, don't panic. Any other questions?